This is part 3 of our 4-part series, Your Hearing Loss Has Baggage.
Today we're talking about cognitive decline and dementia. Hey everybody, this is Dr. Michael Squires.
And I'm Dr. Carly Squires.
And this is Dr. Squires Squared.
A channel where we have candid and casual conversations about everything audiology.
Not sure what audiology is? Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, make sure you get all the notifications when we launch some new content, and we're going to tell you what it is.
So we're back with part 3 of our 4-part series, Your Hearing Loss Has Baggage. We've talked about what hearing loss is like on the surface. We've talked about cognitive load, and so if you missed those episodes, definitely go back and check them out. And today we're going to visit a topic that is probably one of the hottest topics that we in audiology and that we hear about, and one that our patients ask us about quite frequently, and it's that of cognitive decline. So does my hearing loss mean that I'm going to have memory loss down the road? We get asked that a lot.
One thing that's really important to remember from a statistics standpoint is about 2/3 of Americans are going to end up having hearing loss once they've hit 70 years of age. Once they've hit 70 years of age, there's a multitude of other things that come with that process to be concerned about. And one of them is certainly cognitive decline, memory loss, development of dementia, and things like that. Research has shown us that an untreated hearing loss can increase the risks of cognitive decline and dementia. As a disclaimer, we just want to come right out of the beginning and say, we are not insinuating or implying that by having an untreated hearing loss, you will definitely develop cognitive impairment or dementia or anything like that.
Right. The purpose of this video and this entire series is really just to highlight the risk factors that go along with untreated hearing loss, and to give you some backing by research and some statistics so that you have a better idea of those potential risk factors that could happen in conjunction with that untreated hearing loss.
Yeah, and we definitely want you to have this information so that you can make informed healthcare decisions for yourself. But we also recommend talking to your physician and seeking out the guidance of an audiologist.
Did you know that the brain mass actually shrinks in an average person in relation to their age over time?
It's true. One of the most important factors of the development of dementia or cognitive decline is actually the brain structure itself. Did you know that an untreated hearing loss can actually accelerate that brain shrinkage?
When explaining this to patients, we have had people say, oh, that makes sense. If we're not hearing it, we have no chance of remembering it. And on a very, very basic level, that's absolutely right. But it actually goes beyond that and affects you in a much more complex way.
It's true. If you're not hearing it, you're not understanding it, of course. But if you're not understanding it, then the areas of the brain that are responsible for those auditory memories are not able to form those auditory memories. And then the areas of the brain that are in charge of things like speech recognition or speech production and things like that, those areas start to atrophy because they're not being used. And that lack of stimulation is really, really dangerous. This is part of the reason why an untreated hearing loss is linked so closely to the development of cognitive issues or memory loss or dementia.
Secondly, we are going to revisit the topic of cognitive load, and we did an entire episode about this. This is not the last time you'll hear us talk about it either, because it's very, very important, and especially in relation to our topic that we're discussing today, which is cognitive decline and the risk of dementia with hearing loss. Because what we do know about cognitive load is if you have a hearing loss and that information is coming in broken up and not efficiently coming into that system, that your brain is actually understimulated and it's overworked because it's spending way too much energy trying to figure out what's going on. And finally, we are going to talk about social isolation and how that relates to dementia and cognitive decline in relation to hearing loss.
Yep, another topic that we've discussed in the past and we'll probably talk about in the future. But social isolation just means that people are not doing the things that people were intended to do. The more isolated somebody is, the less they're using their brain. The less they're using their brain, the less stimulated the brain is. The less stimulated the brain is, the less efficiently that it is going to be working. When you don't use it,
you lose it.
You lose it. There was a study conducted to try to develop some recommendations on the prevention and care on management of dementia. They discovered that there were 9 modifiable life factors or lifestyle factors that really can contribute either positively or negatively to the development or prevention of dementia. What do you think those are?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say one of them is hearing loss.
How could you know? Yes, absolutely. One of them is hearing loss. But out of the other 7, 2 of them are related back to hearing loss. And those are social isolation and depression. So that's a really important thing to know. Social isolation and hearing loss have been linked in our research. And both hearing loss and social isolation have been linked to the development of cognitive decline.
Yes, and that is a really good segue into our 4th and final episode of the series, Your Hearing Loss Has Baggage, where we are going to talk about depression and how it relates to hearing loss. And we're going to do something a little bit different than what we've done in the past episodes, and we're going to have 2 special guests on here next time. So tune in for that, and you'll learn all about how hearing loss and depression are linked.
All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us for this 3rd episode in our series, Your Hearing Loss Has Baggage. This episode was all about
cognitive decline.
So, if you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit that little bell so you'll receive those notifications when our new content comes out.
Yes, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you have future topics you want us to cover, let us know. You can send us an email at info@hearwv.com or give us a call at 304-428-2403.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
See ya.